Welcome to GNN, Greater Syracuse Association of Realtors News Network. I'm your CEO, Lynnore Fetyko. Today's sponsor for GNN is Hinman Howard & Cattell. We will be interviewing today from the National Association of Realtors Senior Policy Representative for Fair Housing, Alexia Smokler. Hi, Alexia.
Hi, Lynnore. It's great to be here.
Alexia, can you tell our members what went into the creation of Fairhaven?
Well, Fairhaven is a totally new approach to fair housing training. There isn't anything else like it. We created it not long after the release of the Newsday investigation. In one of the videos from that investigation, we saw an agent reference his fair housing training. He talked about steering, and then he went ahead and did it. So we saw that something wasn't connecting. We needed a different kind of training. And we decided to create a training that would affect learners on an emotional level so that we're not just relaying the law, but we're helping people really to embrace the principles and the spirit of fair housing so that it's baked into the way they do business. So this training isn't your traditional lecture and quiz. It's an immersive simulation that uses the power of storytelling to put a learner in situations that feel real, where they're confronting discrimination from the point of view of both the agent and the client.
So is this like the buyer and the seller, or the agent and the buyer? What can an agent expect when they go in?
Well, when you first log in, the first thing I want to say is that Fairhaven is beautifully designed. It's got gorgeous graphics, a very modern look. It's really a pleasure to be in there until you start running into all the discrimination that's going on. When you're playing an agent, you may be representing a seller, you may be representing a buyer. And you work your way through different scenarios. In most of these scenarios, you are playing the role of an agent, and your goal in Fairhaven is to close 4 deals in 6 months in the fictional time of this fictional town. And in most of the scenarios where you play the role of an agent, you have an opportunity to make a sale. You'll go through, you'll interact with clients and colleagues, you'll have to make different choices. And if your choices align with fair housing principles, you'll probably close a deal and get one of those 4 sales that you need. Then sometimes we flip the script and you're in a scenario where you're a client on the receiving end of discrimination. And the idea here is to get people in their feelings and in those scenarios, you're going through and making choices too, and you're going to have to confront the choices that someone has to deal with when they are trying to buy a home and they're qualified and they have the best offer, but because of discrimination, it's an unwinnable scenario. And we pair those client point of view scenarios with video testimonials of real people who have experienced housing discrimination to help people both see and feel what the human toll of discrimination.
It has been more than 50 years since America passed the Fair Housing Act, but we have far more work to do to eliminate discrimination in real estate. Welcome to Fairhaven, a new fair housing learning experience from NAR. Fairhaven simulated scenarios will challenge you to confront bias in yourself, in clients, and in other real estate professionals. After your trip to Fairhaven, you'll see the world differently, and you'll be better prepared to tackle discrimination in real estate. Fairhaven, the next stop on your fair housing journey.
Very interesting. So was the backdrop for these stories, were they taken from real situations?
Yes. Before we developed the training, we reviewed real fair housing cases, we conducted focus groups with members, and we looked at FAQs, commonly asked questions from agents about fair housing problems that they confront. And we used all of that information to build these scenarios.
Interesting. So is there any right or wrong answer to the scenarios?
So one thing about Fairhaven that's also a little bit different is that the score is not what's important. The score is kind of in the background. The important thing is that you're going through, you're having this experience, And as long as you close these 4 deals, you pass. So as you're moving through these scenarios, there are multiple decision points. And it may be that one of your decisions doesn't quite line up with fair housing principles, but you may have an opportunity later in that scenario to course correct. So and I should add that if you make decisions in a particular scenario that don't get the sale, that don't align with fair housing principles, you'll be fed additional scenarios. So you'll have more chances to get that sale.
So Alexia, what would you like the members to gain from this experience?
We've set the bar pretty high here. We'd like members to come out of the experience seeing the world in a new way. We want members to feel even just a little bit what it's like to be on the receiving end of discrimination. What that client experience is like when you're qualified for the house, you have the best offer, but you can't win the house because someone else is discriminating against you. We also want to give members the opportunity to practice applying fair housing principles in these realistic scenarios. So they get to exercise their fair housing muscles a little bit and begin to build some muscle memory around applying fair housing in the real world. And the combination of those 2 things, empathy for the client who's on the receiving end of discrimination and building fair housing into the way that you do business, we think will set members up to go out into the world having fully embraced both the letter and the spirit of fair housing. And they'll know how to do the right thing for their clients and for themselves.
Well, that would be a great goal, and I hope that here at GSAR, we're able to achieve that goal with our members. And as you know, we are going to have a seminar, and I think you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I understand you're having Bill Dedman speak at your next Raising the Bar on February 17th at 10 a.m. Bill Dedman is great. He's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. He was investigation that he did on lending discrimination in the 80s caused Congress to pass new legislation to help protect borrowers. He was also deeply involved in the Newsday investigation. So I highly encourage you to attend Bill's session. And then right afterwards, I'll be doing a demo of Fairhaven. Well, I'll bring you in and take you on a little tour. So come check it out.
I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to have a contest for the members who do take the course. And we'll have a little fun with that. So members look forward to that. So Alexia, thank you so much for interviewing with me today. I certainly appreciate everything that NAR has done for our membership and representing us and creating this very interesting tool for us all to use. So until then, thank you for coming to us and thank you for watching GNN.